Collins, author of Greater Thoughts, is also a motivational speaker and a mind coach, helping you to untrap your mind. In order to elevate your team, your organization, or your business, visit Robert Collins on theuntrappedmind.com or follow him on Instagram at Greater7Thoughts. That's greater, the number 7 thoughts. Robert Collins says, all success starts with a thought. Now turn that thought into action and go be great.
Greater thoughts echo through my mind. Uplifted I soar, leaving shadows behind. Each word I speak, transforming my fate. In this untrapped mind, I am truly great.
Good morning, good morning. It is your host, Mr. RC. Once again, you have tuned into the Greater Thoughts Morning Show, the greatest morning show on radio. Listen, y'all, we have made it. Man, I'm going to tell you, this year is going fast. We had January, February, March, April. We in May, y'all. And it is mental health awareness time again. And I just, first of all, y'all know what I like to do. I start getting it going, but I must do this. My gratitude is with you. I am very grateful that I'm able to be alive, to allow my voice to make it into your hearing this morning. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful that you chose to tune in, whether it be TuneIn Radio, Apple Music, Alexa, WDRB Media. You went to theuntrappedmind.com and stay tuned. There's going to be some changes there as well soon. But I want to say thank you. Now, back to what I was talking about. We are in the month of May. Mm-hmm. And last year, in the month of May, I talked about something that at the end of an episode, we'll get into it real briefly today. But I brought this young lady on by the name of Ebony Michelle. Mm-hmm. And she back in the building, y'all. Hey, Ebony, how you doing?
Good morning, Rob. How are you this morning? Thank you so much for having me on this bright and early and beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning.
It's the Thursday. You losing your days?
I am, because I'm old as hell. This is menopause brain, brother. This is menopause brain. Yes, it is. It's Thursday morning.
We talking mental health and she talking menopause brain.
There you go. That is part of our mental health, because I'm going to tell you, we'll take a dive straight off the deep end. Don't trip.
Look, you know what? I wasn't even going to go down that path. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that's so wonderful about our relationship is that we can jump on anything and stay on it for a moment and jump off and go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
That is a part of mental health that us as men, first of all, know nothing about unless we have a woman that's already been through it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you something. It's something that we don't research to find about.
That's true. And I think that there's also another aspect to it that we'll get into a little bit later. But I think that you're right, because our generation that, we're not going to tell our whole age, but, like around
between 40 and 50.
That's literally what I was about to say, between 40 and 50. We were raised at a time when our parents may have said something like, your mama going through the change. We didn't know what the hell that meant. Half the times we just thought, okay, that means that mama's losing her mind today. We need to leave her alone. Mm-hmm. We didn't recognize, or we did not have the context to understand that menopause, which is the change that every woman is going to go through at some point in their lives, has not only a physical, but it has a mental and emotional impact on the women who are navigating this every day. It is not lost on me that the medical research or the investigation about women's health did not start until the 1990s. We are not that far removed from that. That's only roughly 30 years ago. Yes, and there's still so much that we do not know. Menopause is something, especially for those like myself that have navigated cancer and other conditions that require chemotherapy or different type of treatments that completely siphon the estrogen out of your body. It is a process that is lengthy, that is very nuanced, and is very personal. But the part that I think is also important is that men go through menopause too. That's just not what it's called.
What you call it?
I call it y'all don't lost y'all's damn mind. No. It is around the age of 40 when men begin to incrementally lose testosterone. And for some men, it even happens in their late 30s going into their 40s. And they have difficulty with, certain types of regulation of their body. They have issues with desire. They have issues with their function. They have issues with mood swings as well. All of these things happen, but because women are oftentimes seen as the more emotional, women are often painted in this light where we are the handful. That's not a conversation that we have often, but it's important because many people who are married don't realize they're going through this at the same time. So that's menopause bumping against menopause, even though that's not what y'all want to call it.
Definitely not.
You know what
calling it
I know it's not
menopause.
what you want to call it, but it happens. It's a biological fact. And I think that just like there's not enough conversation about what happens when a woman begins to lose the estrogen in her body, there's also a conversation that needs to happen about what happens to men when they begin to lose testosterone in their body.
Maybe one of these days I'll consider having a show
Mhm.
about for men
You should.
50 and over
Mhm.
that are going through that.
Absolutely.
But in the meantime, brothers, if you're listening and you find that this is something that you're going through, boy, y'all better learn them Kegel exercises to strengthen
Yes.
yourself up.
Yes.
Strengthen yourself up. Get you some Kegel exercises.
You better.
Learn how to strengthen that pelvic floor.
There you go.
You know.
And don't worry, we literally are having an episode on that with a pelvic floor therapist that talks about why pelvic floor therapy is important for men after the age of 40, whether you are navigating disease challenges or you're just navigating everyday life.
That's it. Ebony, when you were here last year,
Mhm.
I don't know any other words but to use, but the ones that I know that are coming quickly to my brain.
Mhm.
A bomb is what you dropped on me.
Oh Lord, what did I do?
It's not what you did, it's what I learned about you that I was not aware of.
Mhm.
And I don't want to sit here and go tell you that I went back to the last year's episode to listen to it.
Mhm.
I'm going to just reiterate it from my remembering.
Mhm.
Endometriosis.
Yes.
Fibroids.
No.
No fibroids.
Cysts.
Ovarian cyst. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Double mastectomy.
Yes.
From cancer.
Mhm.
Lupus.
Yes.
And
Sjogren's.
Yes.
Fibromyalgia.
Myalgia. There we go. I was going that one. That's why I said fibroids. I was going to see. There you go.
Medically induced PTSD.
Come on, we in Mental Health Awareness Month, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
My heart really was on the floor listening to you speak. It's one thing to know a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing to know a person.
Yeah.
And I thought I knew you,
mm-hmm.
but I come to learn that I didn't know you like I thought I did, and my
mm-hmm.
heart was on the floor.
Mm.
And I almost want to tell you the truth that I got off the air and was had to wipe my eye once or twice because I learned so much more in that episode last year. And so I come for those that follow me regularly and heard it. I need you to tell me, how are you today?
I am actually doing better today in some regards. So I had my last official cancer treatment shot on November 19th of 2025. Yes, that was a huge milestone. But it also began a moment that I was not prepared for. Which is the conversation that many of us don't have, which is that when you are a cancer patient and you come to the end of your journey, or what they consider the end of your 5-year journey, that conversation, that support many times stops. You don't need to come see me anymore. They like to use this term, you've graduated into survivorship. For those who have chemotherapy, they ring the bell. I did not have chemotherapy. I did not have radiation. because I was blessed enough where the site on my left side was a stage 1. The site on my right side was a stage 1 as well, even though they thought originally it was a stage 0. The problem with the right side was it was HER2 positive, which meant that it was more aggressive. And so now, of course, there are many more therapies for HER2 positive, but at that time, that was frightening to know. And it was more frightening to know that they did not catch that until my second opinion. So I opted for a double mastectomy because I watched my mother, as we talked about before, die from cancer. And I had 2 small children, 8 and 3, and I did not want them to see me go through the same thing. So the double mastectomy was what I had to do to save my life. And there were other things that I had to do to save my life, which was I had to realize that the person that I was before I heard those words, "You have cancer," was gone. I had to die so that I could live. And so here I am 5 years later, so grateful. But as my treatment has come to an end, I have experienced another level of anxiety, of fear, of stark terror that leaves me up at night. Now that my treatment is over, what happens when estrogen begins to run through my body again, knowing that one of my cancer tumors was hormone positive, which means that it fed off of estrogen. So that's why they shut all the estrogen off in your system. They do the double mastectomy, make sure that they get as much of the cancer out as was in my lymph node. So as far as they know, it was localized, and I have not had another site as of yet, which I am so blessed and grateful for. But that fear remains. And that is not something that is often talked about. We see the joy in ringing the bell. We see the joy in the end of the cancer treatments. But I have not spoken to one cancer survivor who has not experienced what I'm going through now.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. We're going to remove one phrase out of this, out of what you said. I'm going to change your speech. We're not going to say "as of yet," period. We're going to just leave it, period. It's because it's not coming back. I'm going to hold my hand
mean,
to that.
I agree with that as well. However, let me also explain something else that is very important.
Yes, go ahead.
Though there has not been a direct causal link, there is a scientific link between endometriosis and breast cancer. Also, Sjogren's disease, which impacts your lymphatic system, like your saliva, the lubrication of your eyes, and that lymphatic system is what causes that lubrication in your system and all that to generate and circulate properly. Because I have Sjogren's, I am 15 to 44 times more likely than the average person to develop lymphoma.
For it to come to some another phase, another form, I should say.
And you couple that with the fact that there's no link here from what I understand, but I also have lupus, which affects not just more women, but Black women are far more likely to be diagnosed with lupus than other races of women or ethnicities of women. So I carry these things every day, and that's why it's probably why you didn't know a lot about what I dealt with, because this is something that I have carried in a sense with me through my childhood. Ty, who is your friend and brother, from another mother for a long time.
Yes.
We've been together since 19. He's been with me through 8 surgeries just for endometriosis alone. In the last 5 years, I have had a surgery every year. So in the last 5 years, I have 10 new scars to go with the 16 scars that I already had.
I love that you can say that with a smile.
What else I'm gonna do at this point? No,
it's so important.
I mean, because this is my body, and it took me a very long time to be comfortable with that. It took
Would you
me.
take a moment and speak
Sure.
on that?
We in this culture have this preconceived notion of the perfection of beauty.
Whew. You know, us men, we are the ones that look at the women
Mhm.
and we see what women attempt to do to reach
Mhm.
this perfection.
Mhm.
And so, you know, I was having a conversation with one of my other buddies the other day, and I won't you stay there?
Good.
But we talk about men now
Mhm.
in the sense that now they scalping their hair bald, but then next thing you know, they come out the barbershop with a set of dreads. And women, if you start from the top of their head and you come on down to the feet, a lot of times now they used to call it catfishing, and it
Mhm.
was the women catfishing the men, now the men catfishing the women. You don't know who you're dealing with. So go ahead and talk about that level of perfection, because you don't know.
I know it's important. I really think that it's important, especially for in the context of the conversation that we're having right now about disease status, because for many of us, disease status will change you physically.
Yes, come on.
Now, some of us have high blood pressure, for example. Some of us are dealing with obesity. So when we lose weight, for example, that can be a very positive thing. However, when you look at having your breast removed, or in some, if you want to look at it this way, taken from you, the first indication really of your womanhood as you are evolving from a girl into a woman, when that is taken from you, that is a level of trauma that is very difficult to put into words. And so when we think about the perpetuation of these models of beauty, it's, you have that your face has to be beaten, which means, of course, it has to be flawless.
For those
You
of y'all
have
that
to,
don't know the
your
slang.
body has to be banging, and you have to have the smooth skin, you have to have the nice teeth, and you have to have the cleavage and all of these different things. So when those parts of your body are taken from you, so many of us feel broken. We feel silenced. We feel sidelined. And it is a very dehumanizing experience. That is one of the major reasons why I chose to focus on healthy sexuality, because it is not just about the performance or the act of sex. It is about how you evolve in your womanhood and your manhood, even in light of the challenges that you are facing. And it is so important that we have as much of a firm grasp on that as possible, because you can become lost in this. There are women that I speak to who have lost relationships, who have given their significant others permission to have relationships outside of their own, who do not have intimacy or physical intimacy, sexual intimacy with their significant other without the lights, without the room being completely dark, without a shirt on to cover what they consider to be ugly, distasteful, unsexy, and unworthy of the carnal worship and delight that they may have once experienced with their significant other. That takes a piece of you. We are human creatures who we seek connection. We were not meant to be a solitary species.
That's right.
So when you are at a point in your experience that begins to diminish, it makes you wonder, what is my value? What is my worth beyond this? And then you have the blame game. This is my fault. I'm the one with cancer. I'm the one with lupus. I'm the one with emphysema, with heart disease, whatever the situation may be. And this is my fault that this is happening. And so that internalized trauma, that internalized self-depreciating dialogue can be a very heavy weight that so many women and men that we see every day carry and will never say a word about it.
That's good. That's good. And thank you for talking about that.
Mhm.
And you spoke about the sexuality, so that was a perfect segue
Mhm.
into Prowl the Lab.
Yes.
I won't mess that up
That's
ever
okay.
again.
It's all right.
I won't mess that up ever again. Prowl the Lab.
Mm-hmm.
Please share with the listeners exactly how Prowl the Lab came about.
Mhm.
Once again, briefly,
Yeah.
as well as how they can reach you for these opportunities to have you come out and speak to the people.
Prowl The Lab came about because when I was navigating the first year or so of my cancer journey, I was having a lot of issues with self-love, a lot of issues with my ability to nurture the meaningful connection between my husband and I, because I was so focused on my potential demise, if you will.
Yeah.
And when I sought help, I was turned away. And that there are many things, of course, in my experience that caused issues, and sadness. But I think being turned away for no other reason than being told I had the wrong type of cancer was impactful. And I remember sitting outside waiting for my Uber, sitting outside the hospital that day, waiting for my Uber. And I promised myself that no other woman would sit on that bench and feel the same way that I felt in that moment. But in order for me to do that, I really had to understand what the foundation of Prowl the Lab needed to be. And that the foundation of all the work that we do is self-love. You cannot love another until you are able to see yourself for who you truly are and love yourself with all of your flaws, with all of your brilliance, with all of your craziness, with all of your, the nuances of whatever your personality makeup may be. It is about taking all of those puzzle pieces and seeing the full picture and improving where you can, excelling where you need, but at the same time appreciating the full view. And that is what we focus on. Sex and sexual wellness, yes, we absolutely touch on that, but we do it very differently from a lot of other advocates that I have seen who focus on the physical components, like vaginal dryness, that focus on, for men, the inability to maintain or even experience an erection after your prostate is removed for prostate cancer, for example. There are many different diagnoses that can have an impact on men experiencing ED. There erectile dysfunction. There are many different, health-related challenges that women can experience that, limit their desire and their need or their focus on sexual intimacy. So we knew that we had to go beyond that. So we focus on the whole person. We make sure that you see you as who you really are and understand that your scars do not define you. They do not diminish you. They are reminders of your strength, of your resilience, and your ability to overcome, in many cases, overwhelming odds and still being able to flourish, being able to function and love yourself more than you may have loved yourself before all of this happened, because you truly see the agency that you possess in who you are.
My goodness. See, you said something. You said something. And I say it all the time. It's your testimony. It's your testimony. And the testimony is worthless if you don't share it.
That's true.
And you have a testimony, but if nobody knows it, then what is it?
Well,
It's your
because
story.
I always
And
feel
so,
like I'm gonna be okay. and I know that might sound really strange, but I focus on the stories and the experiences of other women, even though, yes, it started with my experience, but I have been through so much, Rob, that I honestly feel like I'm going to be okay,
That's good.
but they won't.
But you
There
got
are many who won't.
But you know, if you didn't start opening your mouth to share your story, how many people are healed mentally because of your testimony, because of the things that you open your mouth to say that I've been through this. And so I know you can get through it too. I've been through that, so I know you can get through it too. And even if they, whatever God's path is for them, it's the fact that He can do it.
Amen.
And they can see it.
I agree.
It's a difference when you could tell somebody something they ain't never ever had a person or an object to say that is real.
That's true.
But you are the real living Ebony Michelle.
And I feel like a hypocrite in a sense, because I'm telling people like to see your agency and see your worth and to see your value. And it's not that I don't see my worth, and it's not that I don't see my value. Trust me, I do. However, and there's no however, full stop. I see my value. I see my worth.
No buts either.
I'm not going to say what. I'm not going to say what. I do understand that everyone does not have the support system that I had. Everyone did not have a parent, and in this moment I'm speaking of my mother, that literally lived a life in a profession of service beyond serving herself. I was raised by a father who made sure that we watched Eyes on the Prize, who made sure that I understood the history of our people, if not to the same degree, to a greater degree of the history that we were learning about other people that didn't look like my sister and I. And I think that set the foundation of understanding that there are people that came before us that gave their blood, their sweat, their tears, and their lives, just so that you and I can sit in this place right now and have this conversation.
That's right. That's right.
And if I am not willing to do my part to live a life of service, then I am failing the very people who shaped the woman that I am, the wife that I am, the mother that I am, and hopefully the patient advocate that I am.
That's good. Ebony, we got time running down on us. It happens every time we get to talk.
Every time, because you know I run my mouth.
And I know you're going to try to keep going past time. But I need to talk about two things. One, how do they reach you? Give us the handle.
You can reach us at www.prowl, PROWL, The Lab, THELAB. So again, that's www.prowlthelab.com. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook every now and again, but usually Instagram, our website. I do have a Prowl The Lab podcast that you can access again through all of the streaming sites as well, and LinkedIn, of course. But I'm out and about, and I try to be as many places as I can possibly be.
Yeah, because she just came from California. Then when she got back from California, she was in New York, and she won't sit still. Now, we have 2 minutes left.
Okay.
But I wanted to talk about masturbation.
Of course
May.
you do. Jesus
but we're
Christ.
Gonna leave masturbation in May alone to next May, because we talk about sexuality.
Look,
but no, we're not gonna go there. I need to talk about something more important.
Self-pleasure is a very important part of self-love and self-care, and it's also very therapeutic for women who are going through menopause. Now, one of the other things that we've tried to do is to have sexual wellness workshops every Thursday of the first Thursday of every month, which is called Thirsty Thursday.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. Thirsty Thursday. Come on.
So Thirsty Thursdays, this Thursday,
today.
Which is today, yes, we are having our Thirsty Thursdays for May, which is a spoken word event where we have 4 amazing women poets, and we have a gentleman poet as well. And we are focusing on intimacy. We are focusing on connection. We are focusing on self-love. And this is a space for women to remember who they are, to reclaim their agency, and to believe and understand that you are worthy of all of these things and so much more.
And thank you so much for being here, Ebony. Our time is
Absolutely.
already eclipsed.
Mm-hmm.
But before we leave, I got to remind you one thing.
Yes.
All success starts with a thought. Take your thoughts, turn them into action, and go be great. God bless.
That's what I'm talking about. Amen.
In the mirror,
See y'all next Thursday for another wonderful episode in this month of mental health.
Creeping by me, feeling so confined. But in this journey, I'm crafting a stronger mind. Rise above the noise, let positivity reign. Each step I take, I conquer fear and pain. Greater thoughts echo through my mind. Uplifted, I soar, leaving shadows behind.